Welcome to MFFLtv. I'm your host Dylan, and free agency has finally arrived. We've made it. From a Mavs perspective, it's a bit of a disappointment. We'll get into it, but we always want those bigger names, and even before free agency started, it looked like all of them started already making agreements elsewhere. But can we still do stuff from here? I hope so. Even with what we've done so far, I think we do need to do a lot more. But let's recap what we've done so far on day one. First of all, we brought back Hardaway Jr. I feel like that was a massive need for the Mavs. I know a lot of people say he's inconsistent. I feel like that's unfair personally. I think, especially in Dallas, his role consistently changes all the time. He comes off the bench, he becomes a starter. When he's on the bench, he gets looks. When he comes into the starting lineup, he doesn't get the ball much for some big long stretches. And I think with that inconsistency, he has done really well. And then you saw in the playoffs when he stepped up into that number 2, got some touches. He was our second best player by far. I think, honestly, that's a really good deal for the Mavs. He also signed for only $16 million for the first season, and I think that's a huge bargain, to be honest. If you look at some of the other contracts, I think Hardaway Jr. really deserves that. He's more than just a three-point shooter. You know, he can shoot off the dribble, he can attack the basket and dunk. He's also a really good energy guy, locker room guy, and I think he's someone that definitely needed to stay. So I think that's brilliant news, and probably what makes it Mavs fans even happier, we brought back Boban. Look, even if we won the chip and we lost Boban, I don't know if that's right. He's one of us now, and I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. So I'm really happy with that. But let's look at some people that we signed and see how they can help the Mavs. So the first move the Mavs made was bringing in a real gem for low cost as well. We brought in Sterling Brown for a 2-year deal. Look, he might not play a lot for the Mavs, but he just came off shooting 42% from 3. He's a fantastic shooter that fills a need for the Mavs. With Luka, he needs the shooters to space the floor, and I think this guy is perfect for that. His defensive rating was not great and sort of gotten worse each year. Maybe if he's in a better team, better system, hopefully that can start improving. But I think, for a couple $1 million a year, this is a real steal, can really be a good player off the bench. But that's not the only move the Mavs made. The Mavs also brought in Reggie Bullock. A huge fan of his. I think he's a really good 3-and-D player. Loved him since he was in UNC. To be honest, after his first few seasons in the NBA, didn't know if he was going to stay around, but he's done really well, coming off a great year with the Knicks. Always around that 40%-ish mark. I think that's a really good deal as well. 3 years, I think it was about $30 million. Look, we're hoping that the cap space was going to go for, let's say, a Kyle Lowry or something, but, I think $10 million a year for Reggie Bullock is still a great business. Hopefully we can do more, as I said, because the Mavs don't look to be done just yet. There were reports also that Dragic is looking to come to the Mavs. I still don't think if that's enough as well to really compete. I think this is a great opportunity to try and go all in. Yes, everyone's hyping up the Lakers and the Nets, but look, they're not guarantees. The Lakers and the Nets both have their injury concerns. We also don't know how the Lakers are going to fit. Is it likely that they probably work it out? Yes, but it's not a guarantee. As well as that, both teams, as I said, have the injury concerns, so you never know. Maybe you can take advantage like Milwaukee did last year, just beat whoever's in front of you, right place at the right time, and win a chip. And I think Mavs aren't far off. I think this is one off-season where they really need to go for it, especially with Luka looking to sign that Supermax. We're probably not going to have cap space, so we really need to do it now. So far, I think it's been good business. Hardaway Jr. for $16 million this year, and he makes more each year after that, so it still allows us some flexibility this year. As I said, Boban, Sterling, and Bullock, all good pickups. We still do have some cap space. Now, what do we do with that? Do we take a chance on maybe an Oubre and an Oladipo and say, look, here's a 1-year deal. Try and prove yourself on an expiring contract to get yourself a better contract next year, as it doesn't look like there's going to be a huge market for either of those guys at the moment. Also, as well as that, the Mavs really do need to figure out this center position. At the moment, we have Boban, Porzingis, Powell, Moses Brown, Maxi can play there. We just got EJ Onu. So I think they're going to do something in there. Willie as well. I saw reports that Powell is on the trading block, and I think, you know, that's probably a given at this point. He is making a lot of money, and we do have a lot of other people that can play that position. I do like Powell, but I just think he's too undersized, and he's also had his injury concerns, hasn't found his rhythm back, and hopefully if we could flip him for someone that can contribute right now, I think that'd be really good. Maybe we do flip him and someone else for a Dragic if Dragic doesn't get bought out. Then if Dragic comes in, do we need Brunson as well? It's a bit of a debate. Could we maybe flip him for a starter? At the moment, it looks like we're going to have Doncic, Hardaway, maybe Bullock, Finney-Smith, Porzingis. I think that's decent, but I think we could still definitely maybe improve upon that. Just giving my review, I'm not too fussed about losing Lowry. However, I think Lonzo would have been a really good addition for the Mavs, and it seems like we didn't really try to go after him at all. It was pretty evident that Pelicans weren't going to match any contracts, so I think his stock was low, and we could have taken advantage of that in a sign and trade. But I think he would have been a really good fit. That's one that I think the Mavs sort of messed up on. I really would have liked to see him in Dallas. However, look, we've done some good things. Doesn't look like we're done yet, so I don't want to say anything too soon. Definitely picked up some good players and some good deals. Nothing I disagree with so far, but I do definitely feel like we need to do more. If this is all we've done, it will be very underwhelming. Can it maybe win a playoff round if their shooters start lighting up? Maybe, but look guys, I want to do a deep playoff run, and I think this is a really good opportunity to, so I think we need to take advantage. But like always, let me know what you think. I'm always keen to see your guys' thoughts. Please like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And I'll see you on the next one for all the breaking news.